think the global and the local are really important to all of us in this new world that we live in. The world is at our doorsteps. We are able to interact so easily with people across the oceans, which we weren't able to previously. So I think even what we do locally has an impact, a ripple effect in our global world. The Indo-Canadian community has a little over 100-year-old history in the Fraser Valley, and yet, there seems to be this sense of we've just arrived. The first group of people that came till about the 1940s, from 1904 onwards till the 40s, was a smaller group of people, and they faced enormous challenges in a very raw country that was being settled. And I use the word settled very cautiously because this was a settled country already. We didn't come as settlers, we came as colonizers to take over another part of the world. Because in the early 1900s, we were not welcome in this country, and the common term which we even saw in that video when Martin Luther King was fighting justice, go home. What is home? Where is home? Who lays claim to home? Who decides this is my home and not your home? So there are these foundational strengths that keep us grounded, that then helped us create a temple in 1908 on South Fraser Way with the help of the Trethewey family, who owned the mill at Mill Lake. And that building, right in the middle of town, really for me resonates in so many ways. It was a place of political struggle. It was a place to show Canadians that no matter that you've taken away my right to vote, you have taken away the right for me to have family, to bring my wife or my children to live with me. You have taken the right away for me to travel between my home, my immigrant home, my country of origin, and my adopted home. Regardless of all that, I'm going to create a place, a permanent place. And the fortitude of that group to do that, and to have that kind of courage, speaks to issues of justice. And that building is now a few years old. The old policy was everybody should assimilate, become like everybody else. But define that, and it's difficult to define, become like whom? And in what way? And how much? And how little? And what do I drop and what do I keep? So there's a constant struggle, I think, from a Canadian context, political context, as well as a cultural context about when do we really belong? When have we really arrived? And so integration is a continuous journey. It hasn't stopped, will probably never stop. And integration is a two-way dialogue. And I probably want one message I would leave today with you is this concept of the two-way dialogue. There tends to be this sense that the host community can just sit back and watch it unfold. And the onus is on the immigrant community to do everything that they need to do to integrate and to become good citizens, and these model citizens. And I have to say there needs to be a two-way dialogue. There needs to be a host community conversation about expectations and about collaboration, about really understanding, deeply understanding and deeply engaging with people who are coming from other countries, in our neighborhoods, in our communities. Because the problems that we're facing are not necessarily Indo-Canadian problems. And my father would always say, be like the willow. Always move with the winds of change and time. Don't be like the oak, because when the wind comes, it cracks in the middle. And I think a lot of cultural communities are much like the oak, because they don't want to let go. And they're afraid to let go. Integration, as easy as the word slips out of my mouth, is a very difficult process. Because as much as we are adopting, we are also giving up. We're also letting go. And our safety and our comfort comes from always hanging on to things that we always have known. I would encourage you very much to meet people who you meet along the way from the South Asian community, who are your neighbors, or you work with, or you go to school with, or your friends, your children are friends with, and be curious. And be curious in a respectful way. I think if we are not curious about each other, I think we lose something in our living as a community.